beast, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin G.
Name of the what?
He was so.
Final round. I already know how I'm coming, man. Tryna run the town. Tell no duck when they hear that sound. How they gon' come up now? Heavy as the head that'll wear that crown. I'm going pound for pound. And if it's about smoke, then we tote all of that. From an ounce to a pound. Check it, they biting this now. Cause my drip right up the sea. How could they be? Give me a couple of rounds. Cause I'm a beast when I'm on vitamin G. You see this start crumbling now. Mad struck, start mumbling now. Get the gist, I ain't reaching for cloud. Plot twist, I'm the one with the keys. Clock blitz, know they look how I freeze. Different continents, I be torn. We living life, making yours look boring. See, we win at the end, it's a spoiler warning. Cause I keep heating up, I might blow the whole planet. They calling me toxic like global warming. But they keep tuning in once again and again. I'm the one at the top just to form a warning. Truly, I'm De Niro when it come to movies. Get De Niro, entertain the groupies. Habanero if you come pursue me. But I hop on the game, too busy rolled up whenever my girl getting moody. Link up with the gang, we all go insane. Catching them doors on the duty. I'm in Stixie, I'm locked in. Bought a box, I was like 10. Back then, used to box, nowadays they ain't throwing hands. Mama said we got more advanced. One thing about me, I adapt, bought a Glock fin. Keep me safe from the block in. The game kept me off the block. Ain't got flex about looting my Ruger. I can shit on you with my computer. See my graphics card costs more than your damn job can afford to pay you. And my monitor, big as hell, detail, so I can see when I spray you. Then reload the clip and record the clip. It's go all say to that SSD. Know a whole lot of trill game heads like me wanna see tuned into that VGP. Take over the west and the east, and we got just what you need on vitamin G.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy FC finally back again with another weekly dose of that Vitamin G Gaming Podcast. You already know what it is. I've got to hit record. But first I want to introduce the panel. What's going on, guys? What's going on, Dante?
Not much. I got back from Blackpool probably about an hour and a half ago. Been there since. Well, I mean, I've been walking around and moving since probably about 5 o'clock yesterday morning. It is now 1 a.m. Tuesday.
Jeez.
So I'm tired as hell. But other than that, I'm good. My sister. So I went to my first circus today, which was fun. Nice. My sister got engaged as well to her boyfriend. She wants to kill me for basically setting her up, and didn't play any games today for obvious reasons because I wasn't in. But weekend, started recording the Let's Play for Borderlands, which was a lot of fun.
Nice.
And continued the recording sessions of quite possibly one of the greatest fighting games ever made, Def Jam Fight for New York.
Big facts.
Damn facts. Aside from that, a Patron and a viewer of mine donated for me to get a game that I've never played and will be the next game that I play for Roleplay Live on Thursdays. and that shall be Kingdom Hearts. I now own Kingdom Hearts on PC, ladies and gentlemen. It has finally fucking happened.
There it is. That's what's up, man. Definitely congratulations to your sister, man. Salute to you. My guy, Omar, what's going on with you, my G?
What's up? Yeah, Dragon Quest 2, Builder. And,
yeah, you really into it, huh?
Yeah, it is. How shall I say? Okay, so for a day now, or this is the second day, I have not played Dragon Quest. I'm just gonna continue after this podcast. I'm gonna watch some anime and then play the game again. It's like I was into it. Then this one quest made me almost lose my mind. Then I succeeded. And then I started another mission which was very cool. And after that I'm back and I'm a little bit empty-minded in terms of what do I do now? There is a quest, but it's like the quest that I just did before was so hype, so exciting. Right now, it almost feels a little bit like filler before I can actually go back to it. I'm enjoying it. Like I really enjoy the story. I am curious which way they're gonna go with it.
Mm-hmm.
And
it has a story. It has a story.
Yeah, that story.
Oh, I thought it was like Minecraft.
I didn't know it had a story.
No.
If
it didn't have story, I would not be playing it.
Wait, Dragon Quest Builders?
Yeah.
Dragon Quest
Builders. Pharaoh, man, it's got a story, man.
I didn't know. I thought it was like
I know.
Japanese Minecraft.
No.
No, if that's the case, I would have not even touched
Oh man, that's your publisher, baby.
Remember, kids.
I looked at the images. And I read the description of the game, and I was like,
I thought it was just a builder game too. I'm not gonna lie.
Again,
I don't
kids.
know. I don't
remember.
know if the story is connected to the first one, but it got story for sure. I never played the first one, that's why.
Does Mario Builders have a story? Or whatever it is, like the Mario version?
Yeah,
actually,
kind of. Super Mario 2, Super Mario 2, not called, Mario
Maker 2.
Yeah, Super
Mario Maker does have a story for the.
But it is as basic as Super Mario, as like Mario Brothers on the NES story. Princess be captured, go rescue.
But that Mario Maker though, that
right. I mean that's the point. I was like, I mean, because I think Pharaoh, like I thought it was similar to that. Like it's like, oh, you could just make levels and shit like that.
No. In Dragon Quest, it's not about you making levels. It's about you building almost like an entire, how should I say, village in a sense.
Okay.
But at the same time, it got combat and it got story.
Nice.
And you're almost restricted into what you can do before you can do it until you have unlocked it in the story. There is a little bit of rinse and repeat in it, but it's very cool. It's very creative. After that, yeah, I am gonna buy a few games right now. Like I need to buy Ghost of Tsushima DLC. I need to buy One Piece World Seeker. I need to buy Star Ocean, the New World or something like that. The latest one, which is now for €10. So many games I gotta buy. So it's gonna be an awesome week.
There is one game I have my sights set on. I've been watching a lot of videos of it. I just need that one person I know, and I just need like one person I know and trust to tell me to take the plunge because it's a great game, and that's Crusader Kings 3.
Then you need what's called FC. He plays.
Yeah, I played Crusader Kings.
But have you played Crusader Kings 3?
Yeah, I played it on Game Pass.
Is it as incredible as I'm seeing it? Because I have now watched.
Are you watching the mods or are you watching the original?
Okay, no, I've watched someone play the original game, and that was where he basically brought Vikingism,
yeah,
basically back from extinction or back from the brink of extinction and basically took over all of Scandinavia and most of Europe, and now everybody believes in the almighty Odin.
Yes. It's like that, actually. There's different factions in the game where you could, whatever they believe in and stuff like that, you could enact that belief throughout the nations.
And you can also create your own. The other one I've been watching, and this one's a really fun one, is this one does involve mods. And this is a vampire and lichen mod with undead armies and shit. And I'm like, dude, I mean, first of all, the game had me at the fact that you can have a nudist religion. And I'm like, oh, I could have so much fun with the YouTube censors with that one. But if it's really that good, I'll probably jump into it. I mean, it maybe, because like the problem, it's not a problem I do understand. I really do. But right now, Crusader Kings 3, if I want to get that, including all the DLC, which I think is the Royal Edition, that fucker is going to set me back 58 fucking pounds.
Yeah. It's also going to set you back a lot of time. It's time consuming, but
I love time consuming,
especially if you like storytelling and stuff like that, and just how you can enact how things go, or if you're going to do it with your stream, and they could like help influence the way you are as a king.
I will,
or a noble or a peasant. Like, you can play any role.
Yeah, I will bring about an age of crisism where everybody believes in the almighty Dante Crisis.
Oh Lord.
Our Lord and Savior.
All right, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. But definitely check it out. My guy Pharaoh, what's going on with you, man? What you been up to? I know you've been playing that Madden, man. How's that?
It's cool. It's a little buggy.
Not a shocker.
But it's like sometimes it's hard to get a game because as soon as you go into the game, like the players don't show up. So you gotta like keep quitting until it happens. So I'm waiting for them to patch that up. But I do like that they added new plays. I like that they added plays that are authentic to what the teams do on Sunday. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Nice.
And the gameplay, I feel like the player movement is better. I feel like the gameplay is slightly better, but I feel like they need to fix the defense a little bit.
Okay, fair enough. Man, that's what's up, man. Anything else?
Why? No, I'm playing this Art of Rally right now, and I'm like, why are they asking for my blood type?
Must be Japanese made. Actually, it's not, isn't it? The Art of Rally.
No, that's different.
So I chose my blood type. You'll like this. My blood type is sake.
You are fueled by alcohol.
Yeah.
The Art of Rally always looked cool to me.
Ain't no blood left, just fucking booze. I'm a walking dispensary.
Jeez. All right, man. Reggie, man, what you been up to, man?
What is going on, people? A lot of things, really. Boy went fishing Saturday, so that was fun.
Oh, shout out to Jubei. That's what he likes to do.
Yeah, like now I gotta figure out how to like cook and clean these things.
Oh, you actually like you went fishing. You actually got some fish.
Oh yeah, fishing. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Like, I have whole fish just sitting in, and I got 3 bags of whole fish just sitting in my freezer.
Jeez, what you caught?
Perch and spot.
Okay.
Which, as I'm not a fishing person, I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
I know what spots look like. Yeah, I know.
I've heard of
spots.
perch.
Literally have little spots on them.
Yeah, that's what's up.
I think I know it's edible.
It's edible. Yeah, I just do it that way. I went and saw a thing. I don't know if everybody went and saw The Green Knight.
Yeah, I saw it.
It's an interesting movie.
Based on a poem.
I think just a little bit too long. All right, I think it went just a little bit too long. Also, I have to ask, you saw it, FC. Was it also really dark for you?
Yes. Have you read the poem, the original?
Okay. No. Well, I think back in high school.
Okay.
But so I barely remembered anything. I mean, like visually, it just looked dark, and I thought something was wrong with my projector.
No.
When I went to the theater to see it.
Was it cinematography or whatever it's called? Yeah.
Cinematography.
Cinematography.
Yeah,
that's what it's for.
It's a beautiful movie when it's not so dark.
When you can see it.
Yeah, it's a very beautiful movie. I'd recommend it. Dev Patel. Cool stuff. Otherwise, still grinding through Pokemon Unite. And jump back into Game of the Year Hades just because everybody else seems to be enjoying it. I'm like, why I might not enjoy it myself. Dice and BAFTA Game of the Year award winning game Hades. It's really a fantastic game, guys. It is now on Xbox Game Pass and on PS5 and on Nintendo Switch. You can pretty much play it everywhere. Shout out to Supergiant Games. If you haven't played their other games, definitely go back and play Bastion. Definitely go back and play Transistor. Excellent games.
Keep sucking that dick. One day you will get that sponsorship.
I will one day sponsor a Super. Well, no, we still got to work for that Starbucks sponsorship. Starbucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I need some Starbucks right now. I ain't gonna lie.
FC got Starbucks a lot.
I don't know about.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like he's holding back, but I get it. I understand. Like, he can't be biased. So, like, I'll do the work, right? Like, I'll just like Starbucks sponsor us, bro. Like, come on.
There it is.
I think it's a three-way tie right now on what's going to sponsor us first. So, Starbucks, Hades, or Trails of Cold Steel.
This is true.
This is
Kobe hasn't been pushing the Trails life in a while.
It'd be Persona. It'd be Persona, Trails, and currently Hades.
To be fair,
it was Persona for like a hot couple months. I almost jumped off the damn bridge.
But that was after I went through Persona 5 Royal and like
and then you brought it back after I get it.
With Strikers. Yeah, but with Strikers, like, can you fucking blame me? There were games coming out, and I needed to talk to the resident Japanese man.
Oh my god, that was an awful podcast. Anyway, but no, that's what's up, man. We'll definitely get into that Hades talk because it's the truth. Ain't gonna lie. All right, but last but not least, my guy Kofi, man, what you been up to?
Guys, it is so great to be back as usual. So right after the podcast last week, I ended up finishing The Last Campfire, which again is like a puzzle game by Hello Games. I think it's still on sale, like through the 18th or the next 2 days.
Yeah.
Wonderful puzzle game that, you're playing this character Ember and you're helping individual creatures just like yourself that are in the status of being forlorn. And when you approach them, the game presents puzzles as them. So like problems they might be encountering in their lives kind of inspire the puzzle that you solve. And, some of them you won't exactly get why the puzzle was this way, but the puzzles are really beautiful. It's a very like relaxing, soothing game, completely narrated. All the lines are narrated and loved it. Loved every moment of it. Other than that, I've been playing Judgment, just enjoying the crap out of Judgment. FC, I'm so mad at you for not telling. Did you do? I have to ask you about a quest on Judgment. Did you do the quest handling the perverts, like the team of 3 perverts?
Yeah, the panty sniffers.
How they named the dude Ass Ketchum? I did not know it. Because guys, I don't play the English version.
Yo, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I was like, they call him Ass Ketchum. It's hilarious. So I was dying about that.
That was a funny quest. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like,
I miss these things. So you have to tell me when there's funny translations.
There's a couple of them. That one was like that threw me for a loop because I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. Yakuza and this, they love going there. They
go there. But then they bring you back with like the story and how like it's kind of dark and stuff and like more tied to realism. And then they'll throw in the sprinklings of like the panty sniffers and the guy catching it. They're trying to catch his toupee that keeps flying. You know what I mean? That hair quest.
I said it before. The Yakuza series is literally the best series out there that can somehow balance a gritty, fucking emotional, amazing story with some off-the-wall bullshit.
Yeah, like men in diapers in a room together. And you're like,
Judgment does that well.
Outside of gaming, really quick, I did not, like, I was late to this, but I recently streamed Nas's. So yeah, I'm really into hip hop, but I never talk about it. But I'm really into Nas. He's one of my favorite artists. He just dropped an album called King's Disease 2. It is dope. If you're into the boom bap style hip hop, to be honest, I'm starting to judge it in the top 5 albums he's ever done.
Really?
I love It Was
Illmatic?
Written. I love it. Oh, it's not better than Illmatic.
Oh,
I don't think it's better
No,
than
I
It Was
said
Written.
next to. I said next to Illmatic.
I think it's a top 5 album. I'm not sure if it's going to be up there with Illmatic or even It Was Written. I also hold It Was Written in high regard.
It was fire.
And even I love Stillmatic. You know, I know that's maybe more controversial, but I'm a big Stillmatic fan as well. But it goes way up there. You know, it's better than like Street's Disciple, better than Hip Hop Is Dead, better than Unnamed, better than Life Is Good is up there too. So I'm not gonna throw down Life Is Good. But anyway, yeah, loving that album. And then not much else. Am I really? Oh, I finally booted up Phantasy Star 2 New Genesis. Loving that. I haven't got to play too much of it. Like I got my fighter
it's on
class
PC?
character. Yeah, I got it on Steam. Obviously, you know, it's free. Loving that. And other than that, just thinking about this question I'm about to ask the panel, which I'm very curious what your answers will be.
All right, go ahead,
That's
man.
about it.
Oh, is it in the title?
I think it's in the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it's in our thing.
Yeah, I got that from Omar saying that you brought that question up, so we'll definitely get into that.
Yeah, but
Okay.
What am I looking?
Copy need to explain it.
No,
I do have to explain it.
I'll have him explain it. But first, I'm gonna shout out the chat. What's going on, everybody? My guy Cam McNair. Congratulations to the Tottenham Spurs getting that W against Man City. So salute to you, Michael. What's up, man? Tryhard fan. Amedius Helsing. Let's see here, Joseph P. Salute to you. Amadeus, thank you. You're my guy.
Michael Executioner.
There you go. What's going on to everybody in the chat, man? Make sure you karate chop that like button. Shout us out to gamers everywhere, and we're gonna get started. Let's see here. First, I just want to get this talk about the way Hades. I'm gonna let Reggie just take the floor with this, man. It's recently hit the other consoles. I believe it was already on the Switch. I think about a year or two ago. I'm not sure, but I think it was on the Switch and PC, right? And now just recently hit the Xbox and via Game Pass, as well as you could buy it regular and PlayStation. For those who haven't played it, you guys definitely should play it. And for those who have played it, why is Hades such a great game? So Reggie, I'll let you take the floor as I get napkins
Guys, let me tell you about this little game called
to clean the
Hades,
mess up.
made by Supergiant Games. Previously, they have released such excellent titles such as Bastion and Transistor. But we are currently talking about the BAFTA Awards winning Best Game, Game Awards Best Action Game, BAFTA Awards Best Platformer, Best Narrative. It is a absolutely fantastic game. And if you've been listening to us long enough, you know I love this game. Probably one of my favorite games to come out in the last couple of years. It is a fairly simple roguelike where you play as Zagreus, the son of Lord Hades, Lord of the Underworld. And won't go into spoilers because everything is built on like this very, very large story. But essentially, Zagreus and Hades don't get along, and Zagreus is trying to leave.
The Underworld,
and that is pretty to leave the Underworld, and that is pretty much the basis of it.
Daddy issues, and he wants to move out.
Essentially, he's got daddy issues. And I don't want to live under your roof anymore, Dad. And Dad's like, you follow my rules under my roof. And you meet a colorful cast of characters of the Greek pantheon, coming from like most of the Greek gods who we're familiar with: Zeus, Aphrodite, Ares, so forth, and then some which don't always get a lot of play. I think in like the larger pop cultureness, like Nyx and Perseus, Achilles is up there, but I think this is closer to what Achilles was, as opposed to like the Brad Pitt version from Troy years ago.
Isn't Morpheus in it as well? The God of Dreams. Oh, it was
yes, Morpheus is there. So it's Thanatos, Chaos, and so like there are a bunch of people here who are just Greek pantheon. That's what we are. But it is probably one of the most, I think, technically tight roguelike sort of action adventure games. It's very different. If you're thinking Returnal, it's a little different. Same concept about like you die, start over, and repeat. And there is a narrative reason as to why you die and why you start over and repeat. But it's a bit more actiony. So for lack of a better term, think like a 2D Devil May Cry, if you will, from a top down, where like you're moving, you're stabbing, you're cutting, about 7 different weapons, each with their own level of classes. So it really kind of takes you up to like almost 20 to 30 something different various levels of weapons you can use, including some secrets. But my biggest praise about the game, and is what Supergiant does absolutely well, is its narrative storytelling.
Agreed.
For those who's ever played, particularly Bastion, where the story is being narrated as you play it. And so like it's this very cool thing where like the things that you do, the narrator will begin to say it. And so as you die, he will begin to say things like, oh, well, the character died here and did this, or he killed these things. And like you build your story with a narrator like over top of you the entire time. Hades, I put probably almost 40 to 50 hours in it before I saw a duplicate line of dialogue, which is impressive considering like it's a game, it's a roguelike. It only goes so far and it doesn't have that many levels into it to begin with. But each time you kind of go through and try to escape and then come back in, you meet new people, you talk to people, and like each person is just going to be doing different things, and you're going to be interacting with them in various different ways. I don't know if many people have found her yet, but Dusa is probably like the best character there. There are, Megara is there, Thanatos, Achilles, all of these people, and you just keep talking to them, and then the story starts to open up larger and larger, and you sort of start to see what's going on. And even now, as I'm playing it today, we're probably 100 or so hours into it, I'm still running across new dialogue.
Wow.
For things that I just haven't done yet, or people I haven't like spoken to effectively. So it's for those who like, I don't know what the trophies look like on Xbox and PS5, but I imagine if they're really deep in like the tedious level of trophies like they usually are, then it will be, like max out relationships with all of the Greek gods.
Yeah.
Or max out relationships with everyone. Beat every boss. Fill up your entire sort of what's a compendium, if you will, with all the information. So I cannot recommend it enough. It is an absolutely great time. Zagreus is fun. What a cool original character. The only knock I would say on it is that it's still Greek gods, and you know how I feel about that. But other than that, just a blast of a game. Like, yep. I recommend. I'm so happy to see everyone enjoying it. Because like I've been playing it for a whole year now, singing its praises, and now everybody else gets to play it, and I think that's wonderful. Big up to Supergiant. I hope this like spearheads them to keep going.
Yeah, they're gonna make their bag pretty soon. It's great. And I'm gonna go in a little bit more detail, but go ahead, Dante.
No, I was going to say at least it's one of the ones that uses the Greek gods, and they're not all murderous assholes.
Yeah.
For no particular reason. Do you know what I mean?
This is true. They're certainly still kind of assholes, but you're right. It's not very killy.
It's not God of War levels of
no.
Like end the world fucking mustache twirling gods.
Yeah, not at all. This is, for lack of a better, this is a kind of small personal family drama.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Like, yeah. This is a personal family drama. And like it just so happens, his family are the gods of Olympus.
Mm-hmm. And they're trying to, piss off their brother by trying to also help him escape. So.
Yeah. Now imagine if they decided to take this idea and work it into, hear me out, the Egyptian pantheon.
That's what I'm saying. You could have just did that to begin with.
That would be sick.
I know, but you gotta start off with something people are comfortable with, and if the next one don't call, obviously it can't be called Hades 2, but similar premise. I'd say similar design. Just use the Egyptian pantheon because it's. I would say as far as pantheons, it probably might have the second largest pantheon. Probably just in front of like the Viking, the Norse mythology.
Yeah, and they're fairly easy to. They're visually interesting and distinct, and like
Yeah, they're different.
you might not know them now, but you will. Like it's the alligator guy. It's
there's
Isis,
Hades, there's
Jack.
Anubis,
Exact.
you know.
Yeah, like we all
Exact.
we'll get used to them real quickly. It's like,
Right.
okay, I know who they are.
Yeah.
But not like just my point of view from it, because I was playing the Ascent, and then I knew we were gonna talk about Hades, so I was like, let me play a little bit of the Hades, and I played it for like 3 hours or so, and it's pretty damn good. Like I played Returnal, I enjoyed Returnal. Returnal's a good game, but like what Reggie was saying or Zero was saying, like Hades is way more action packed. Like the way he said it's like Devil May Cry 2D, right? And it feels like that. The dodging, the reflecting of the missiles, and you die a lot. Like I've died already, like I don't know, 7 times. Like, but the thing is, every time you die, it's not the start over process. It's kind of leads to more dialogue, story elements, and a way to kind of upgrade your character instead of the opposite. Like for Returnal, from my point of view, is like you have to like build up on it on that one run and complete several bosses to keep certain upgrades. But this one, it's like each run you could change your weapon loadout and what weapon you go in, but at the same time, from when you die, depending on how many stuff that you saved up, you could boost your character in a sense. But again, I'm not that far in the game. It might change different like throughout, but I'm only in the second area. I've just met the serpent or the bone creature, whatever.
Lerny.
Yeah. No, not learning. Is it learning? Hey,
Yeah, the he's like a bone hydra.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I just met the
Yeah.
bone hydra. Almost killed
Yeah.
it, but died. I was using the bow. The bows are, I don't know, I don't really like that. So far, my favorite weapon is the spear. I like that the most so far.
Spear is great. A lot of people like the shield.
I hear the shield is great. If you want to get on your Captain America trash character, you could definitely use the shields for that.
What I would the only thing I would recommend is just like a tip. If ever you find, and I actually don't remember when they pop up. I guess they always were there in the beginning. Daedalus hammers, which are
upgrades.
Yeah, they're upgrades very specifically to your weapon. Always pick them.
Yeah.
Like if you're like, do I get this next Zeus upgrade or Daedalus hammer? Always do Daedalus hammer.
And that's another thing too when and like in this game, I don't know if it's like that for a lot of rogues. I'm not too familiar with roguelikes, but you kind of pick which, I guess, next area you want to go, and then, like you said, like the hammer and kind of like the risk reward of, okay, if I go do this room and compare it to this room, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I like it, and I wish I could play more of it.
Some roguelikes have that.
Yeah.
Other, it's a straight path.
I highly recommend it. I know Cam McNair has been saying for me to play it forever. I know Reg has been saying it for everyone to play it. It's here now. It's in Game Pass for those Xbox users, and it's on PlayStation as well. Definitely try it out. It's pretty damn good, man.
It's actually fairly cheap, 25 euro, which I assume $20 or something like that.
So Omar, get the game, my dude, because you like roguelikes, and this
My
is.
thing is right now.
It's good. I'm telling you, just get the game.
I know I want to, but my issue is Ghost of Tsushima coming with Legend, and I know myself I'm gonna be with more than 100 hours in that game. But my thing is roguelike needs a time when there is no other game to play, because to beat Hades, which is, I'm not complaining about it. I'm actually glad about what I'm about to say. But I actually seen people complain about it. In order to get the full story, apparently you need to beat the game 8 times or 10 times, I think.
Damn.
And some people are not glad with that. But I'm like, yeah, no, that's what mostly a roguelike is. Something
true.
like Binding of Isaac. You need to beat the game, what, 20 times or something like that?
I think I'll beat the game and then find the story after, because I don't like beating games repeatedly.
I mean, because Returnal's the same way though, right?
Yeah,
Like,
and I beat it, and I was like, do I gotta do this shit again? Do I really want to do that? Nah.
Returnal is on the weaker side when it comes to length. Returnal is not that big.
Okay.
Returnal, Returnal focus is going from one place to one place without dying. That's why it's basically not that big.
Yeah, but I didn't want to repeat that shit, so I was like, nah, I'm good. But yeah, so definitely check it out. That's our piece on Hades. Anyone else tried it? Kofi, have you? I know you like roguelikes. Have you played Hades yet?
I have not. I've got some other smaller games I picked up, like Spiritfarer and Azure Strikers Gunvolt, that I need to get through first, because I don't want to buy games on sale and then just let them not be played.
Nah, I feel you.
But I will get Hades.
Gotta get it, man.
I would say the last thing, just big shout out to the music and the voice acting.
Yes.
Really, really top tier.
No, I agree. It's good. I can't as soon as we get out the mobile, play some more. That's how good it is. And I put the Ascent on hold. I still play MLB The Show because I'm a pitcher for the Mariners, third season in, trying to make the playoffs. But other than that, I go back and forth right now between that and Hades. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for that topic. Let's move and shift gears. And this is Pharaoh's topic. Pharaoh. All right, man. So you wanted to talk about what's going on with Sony in Japan, how you said that they are no longer, they lost that mojo. And let me see if I could find something here. We'll show my screen. Shout out to my guy Rodimus J. He said that PlayStation has been dead in Japan for a few years now. Now the question is, who turned their back on who first? And this is based off the topic that Pharaoh was talking about, what recently happened. If you don't mind elaborating, sir, go ahead.
PlayStation, they had a 27-year streak canceled to where they did not have a single game appear in the top 30 in sales in Japan. It was pretty much like all Nintendo and other platforms, mobile, PC.
Yeah, so just let me read from the article. It says the newest sales reports from Japan paint a very stark and interesting picture. The top 30 software sales charts for the week are all Nintendo only. There's not one single PlayStation game in the top 30, and this is in Japan. And while it goes without saying, it bears repeating the top 30 is all Nintendo, while being one system, which is obviously the Switch. One system has total and absolute domination over the software sales in an entire major market. This has quite literally never happened since the heyday of the NES. And it paints a rather sordid picture for the state of Sony's prospects in Japan going forward. So, thoughts, man. So Pharaoh, what's your thoughts on this, man? Is this... I kind of dismiss it like it's not that big of a deal, and maybe I'm just overlooking it. What's your thought on this?
I think it's kind of a big deal because you look at games like we've been talking about Persona for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
You look at games like Persona, if PlayStation is no longer the dominant platform, then they don't necessarily they may not get the exclusivity for Japanese games that they're typically accustomed to. So in that sense, I can see it being a big deal. And I mean, do I think it's a big deal for Sony per se? I would say like not at the leadership level, because they're more concerned with the blockbuster titles. They don't really care about those mid-tier titles. If a game ends up being big, like Persona, if it develops into something big, they'll get it on their platform. Kind of like how Xbox didn't really want anything to do with Yakuza when it first, was pitched. But now that it's big, it's like, all right, now you can bring it over here. But as far as like locking up those games and getting them, essentially for free, they didn't even have to do anything for them. Now that they're not the dominant platform, I think Japanese developers are going to start, really looking at where they put their games. I think now, if the trend continues, Nintendo will be the primary platform
in the soul
to get these games out, especially since it's more of a mobile and handheld market over there now.
I have a question for my guy Kofi. I think it was a couple years ago where I think they announced that Sony's headquarters is actually in California now, outside of San Francisco. And when I saw that, I kind of seen them transition more to a Western style business, Western style Sony. And with, I guess, reports like this where it's like just Sony in Japan is just losing its, I don't know, it's not doing as well as it once was. whether it be mobile or when they try to do their Vita and got destroyed, or whether it be just their PlayStation sales just not as where it once was. And to you, sir, do you being such a big Japanese head, like, do you have some type of concern that Sony seems to be stepping away from their Japanese roots, or in transition to a more Western American style company? Like, what's your take behind this? And then the second part, and behind this, the report, is this at all any worrying signs, or it is more aligned of it is what it is?
Okay. To answer the first part of your question, I do have some concerns for PlayStation's future with supporting Japanese titles. And I think most of my concern comes from the user experience that I have using my Japanese account on the Japanese store and just browsing what games are available. Mm-hmm. Just 2 years ago, or like 2019, early 2020, PlayStation 3 and 4 and Vita users still had access to one of the greatest legacy libraries I've ever seen. And this is a strong talking point to me. Mm-hmm. Games like, now this is kind of legacy, like super legacy stuff, but games as old as Legend of Dragoon or not Mega Man, but like Xenogears, or like your older, even like the older Persona games, all those games were still available at least digitally. And while the store on console, like on PS3 and PS4, is nothing to brag about, on browser, if you're using a PC, I think it was pretty respectable. You could wishlist things, you can gather all those things. Now that we're in the PS5 experience and looking at these games, a ton of content just feels not as full. I don't know how to describe it, but I'll give you some more anecdotal evidence, not exactly hard evidence. There are several PlayStation exclusive games that are coming out on, like, between the end of July and the end of this year that you just don't see promoted on the Japanese store. And I think this is an opportunity to promote those things. What examples are you talking about, Kofi? One that Omar and I are going back and forth a little bit about. It's published and developed in-house for the first time by Kadogawa Games. Again, as you know, Kadogawa has like this ownership, or under their umbrella is From Software, and PlayStation is invested in them. We know all this stuff, but Kadogawa has a special place in my heart because they've worked with not just but they've worked with Falcom. They've done all these great things. So now they finally have their own in-house dev studio. They are doing their most ambitious tactical RPG game that's coming out this year. It's a simultaneous worldwide release. It is only on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. Wow. And there's no evidence of it on the store. Not like, I will say the game doesn't officially have a release date, but neither does a ton of other stuff on the PlayStation Store. You don't have some sort of way to allow Japanese players to register or wish list games like this that they're interested in.
There's no coming soon section or anything like that?
There's no coming soon section for it.
Oh wow. Okay.
And that, to me, that's concerning. Or like another example, Utawareru Mono Zan 2, the Muso style game that just came out July 28th or something like this. That game has a demo, so I'll give a lot of credit. Like, if you have a Japanese account or if you can make one, you could go try the game right now. But it was so weird how the Aqua Plus only has their game on one platform. It's only on PlayStation. They need to, in my opinion, use that PlayStation Store platform to, like, promote at least that we have a demo. Like, finding the demo is not easy. It's just not. There are more examples of this. I can't think of off the top of my head, but
Kofi, what do you mean finding the demo is not easy? In what sense?
In the sense that there's no demo specific section.
Yeah, that I agree with you. That's something that PlayStation 4 have, and they really need to implement that as soon as possible on PlayStation.
For sure. 5. Especially, like, the devs kind of, I mean, for profit, it's very thoughtful to do, but they go out of their way to cut this thing up so that it'll be a demo. Why not have that happen more often? So that is disappointing, just like from a user experience where I'm so used to, in the past, booting up my Vita or booting up my PS4, and there's just all these crazy games they list out, and to that have been sucked away, it's pretty obvious that Sony needs to work really hard to maintain a lot of these relationships. I believe there's going to be some exciting games coming out that probably will only be out on PlayStation in Japan. Like, I really think that Tri-Ace is coming out with something big. I'm curious if they have a partnership with Square Enix to do something that they publish, like they did Star Ocean 5 with Square Enix's ownership of the IP, or if they do something of their own and maybe PlayStation is doing that, or they might do something with Nintendo. Other things, like to answer your first question again, is I do see a lot more games coming out simultaneous. Oh, no, another publisher I gotta mention, Nippon Ichi. Nippon Ichi has published like 4 games, and like there's no visibility on it for PlayStation in Japan. But they're very much like super Japanese-y titles, and it's so funny. I know you guys might know this. There's a game that came out in the US. It's like a role-playing game with. It's called like the Blind Prince and the Liar Princess. Have you guys heard of this game?
No.
Oh, okay. It's an RPG. Came out like 2016, 2017. That game has a sequel
right now. Which console?
Yeah, it's good. It's called like the Blind Prince and the Liar Princess or something like that. It almost looks like a hand-drawn RPG, very artistic. That game got a sequel.
The Liar Princess and the Blind Prince.
Yes, yeah. Thank you. That game got a spiritual sequel called I forget. It's called like the Duplicitous King and the Great Hero or something like that. It's only out in Japan, only out on PlayStation. You can only get it there, and I just don't see it anywhere. It's just and the game looks great. The reviews are like kind of like I think the one part that makes it controversial is the gameplay wasn't exactly held high in Japanese players' minds based on reviews I read. But Nippon Ichi has done more than that. They have their tour guide. It's like this game where you ride a bike all over a specific area or region of Japan, but it's based on photorealistic shots that they have done with their own onboard cameras, like you run like Google, like the Google Maps cars that we have over here in the States. That game came out only on PlayStation, only in Japan. It's out now. People love that. I've seen some really positive reviews on that, but like I just don't see the same type of energy, I guess, when I go to the store. There just used to be that type of stuff in my face. It's just not there like I am used to. And they have a third game. Oh yeah, they have another visual novel game that's apparently very popular. I had never heard of. So yeah, thank you. You found it. The Cruel King and the Great Hero. Yeah, only out on PlayStation in Japan. So it's just games like this that I wish were better promoted. But I guess moving on to your second question. Yes, Nintendo has run the takeover. This 27-year streak being broken, I think Pharaoh is valid in bringing up, because Sony needs to remain competitive in this space, in my opinion. I just feel like there's so much, I guess goodwill is the word I'm looking for, to maintain the relationships with these devs that you're going to contract out with them again, right? Like, for example, not Team Ninja. Is it Team Ninja? I'm tripping, y'all. The guys who do Neo.
Yeah,
Team Ninja, right?
Team Ninja.
Yeah.
Yeah, Team Ninja.
Sorry, I'm tripping. Obviously, games like Neo 2, and the new Final Fantasy Neo, I know it's called like Stranger in Paradise or whatever. That's an important relationship to maintain. Not just Tri-Ace. Obviously, you should maintain that. But the fighting game development community still focuses a lot on PlayStation. So you got to like keep all that stuff up for sure. I'm also like kind of. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, because that stuff is important, because Japanese developers cater to where Japanese people play games. So, I mean, if Japanese people aren't playing games, on PlayStation anymore, then they're gonna eventually, move off of PlayStation as their, priority console, because they prioritize. I mean, like, we enjoy their games, but they prioritize their people first.
Yeah, a lot of the like I will also give a shout out to Falcom. Falcom always releases on PlayStation first, and I think the reason they're still doing that is like right now the release schedule for Falcom games on Switch and PC is still a little bit convoluted. You can't really get access to all the games until later this year, I think. But like you said, I mean, that could change. I don't see this trend continuing. I don't think it's going to be PlayStation never in the top, what was it, top 30 or what have you, for the rest of the generation or something like that. I think, like, on the opposite side, looking at Nintendo, I'm very curious what Nintendo will do to extend the life of their library. There's several games that we can't access now that the Wii generation is over. When Switch is released in its next thing, will this entire library be available digitally? I'm very curious what they'll decide. Because that'll make the big difference. If they keep the entire Switch library like beyond the next 10 years, that's going to be really aggressive. To PlayStation, you're going to need to, I guess, in my mind, I think PlayStation needs to do their best to make sure some more of their legacy IPs are kept around. Like we need to see Bloodborne. Like I know that there's rumors, and we probably will talk about that with what From is doing with PlayStation. But things like Bloodborne need to be available because like a lot of my Japanese friends who live in Japan, that's a game they play. They're like, I'm playing Bloodborne. That I need this game in my life. So I know series like that will keep them buying the console.
Fair enough.
But
fair enough.
Anyway, that's me.
Yeah, fair enough. And I want to go to Reggie and anybody else who has a take before you switch to Omar and Kofi's topic. So Reg, with Nintendo dominating the Japan, like it's they are the leaders and the conquerors there. Nintendo also has a headquarter in America. It's in Washington State. Not exactly sure. I think it's in Redmond. How does Nintendo, I guess, balance the two markets? Because Sony is a Japanese company that also has a headquarters in the West Coast, similar to Nintendo. But how does Nintendo maintain that relationship, and why do you think Sony isn't?
There's a part of it where I just I don't know. Like every time these NPDs come up, like Mario Kart 8 is still on it, and like sometimes within like the top 5 or top 8 include over I think Mario Kart was over Ratchet and Clank, which is like how Mario Kart's it's just who's still buying it that doesn't have it already?
Right.
That's what I'm very confused on.
Or is it simply just the mobile is king? Like no matter what Sony does with the consoles, if it's not mobile and if it's not Nintendo, it's not gonna matter.
Well, and I think part of that comes into that, and I think we have to ask ourselves, what are people playing?
Yeah,
right. Like over here in the West, we're very kind of focused on sort of the big budget titles.
Yeah.
With everybody will like their occasional indies to pop up, like an Art of Rally, a Hades. Yeah. But we're still going to be talking about Last of Us, Ratchet and Clanks, Bloodborne, all these other type of things. Where over in Japan, they're creating long lines for Monster Hunter Stories 2.
Yeah.
Or the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, or the Famicom Detective Chronicles, or even any sort of various iteration of whatever Mario game that's coming out. I think we're starting to see for the first time such a really large shift in the games people play over the West versus the East. And some of that does, I think, definitely is benefit to a mobile culture. Games like Phoenix Wright, they just thrive on a mobile screen because Phoenix Wright doesn't need to be rendered at 4K.
Yeah.
Nor does it need to run at 4K 60. It's a visual novel. It just needs to kind of look good and have a very interesting story. And it seems as though what Nintendo has been continuing to do, and it's always shied away from, largely probably because it just couldn't stack up in the first place to its competitors. It's stepped away from the sort of graphical arms race that I think PlayStation and Xbox are always in,
which is very costly too.
It's a costly thing, and it gets to the point where me personally, I think everything sort of begins to meld together, unless you're one of those people who are like, no, I need ray tracing, 4K, 60, And like, but if that's the sort of barometer to separate the 5 from the Series X, it's like I don't think that's such a wide gulf to where we're at the point where you can very clearly see that one system is 100% better in the same way you can see a 5 in the Series S is better than a Switch.
Right.
Nintendo has sort of opted out of that arms race, which I think is a good thing because that keeps video games, I guess, a bit interesting. Because it can't all be arms race, because then you start to argue over how long does it take me to shut my system off. As of we've seen the PlayStation thing, which was funny because it's taken me a while to like get used to not holding the PlayStation button. But like when the only other and if I'm not like visually adept to sort of know these things, then the only thing I can sort of argue about is it takes me an extra 3 seconds to turn off my PlayStation, whereas on the S it takes me a lower than 2 seconds. And that I don't think that's what a boring topic for video games, right? Like, what a boring thing to argue about for video games. On the one hand, it's probably a good thing, right? Like, I guess we've gotten to so high that, like, the only thing we can complain about is, like, ease of use. But, like, we still should sort of be talking about something far more interesting.
Yeah.
And I still think Nintendo are making interesting things. I definitely, I understand people's issues with them because they're still sort of far behind when it comes to a lot of things, but their market doesn't seem to really want those things.
That's true.
And
I don't think they don't want it. I think they never got it. If they got it, they would beg for let's say if you give something to someone that they never had and then you take it away, they're gonna ask for it back. As long as they are not missing it out on it, they're gonna not ask for it. Like, for example, something like trophies. Why has Nintendo not have given their fanbase trophies yet? Like, trophies and achievement is great. It's amazing.
Overrated.
I was about to say, are they though? They do nothing other than like allow people to digitally like show off. Rights. Yeah, but it actually does nothing.
No, you have trophies. Trophies change how you play a game sometimes.
But that's only if you engage with the trophies.
That's if you
I don't engage with trophies.
I don't. I don't either.
So that you can brag that you got it.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't either. But at the same time, you cannot knock the fact that it does give you some type of like endorphin hit. Like compared to like
I certainly understand.
I play on Steam. You get these little small little ball thing pop ups like a Steam achievement. Like, I don't care about no Steam achievement. I'm not an achievement whore or a trophy whore. But when you go on PlayStation, you do something, which I do like the PlayStation 5, where you slay this final boss in Demon Souls and it captures a little mini video of you doing it. That's fire. Or if I'm on Xbox and you hear that loud ass bing, like that, you know what I mean? Like, it's like you just did something. Like, it's like, damn, you're right. I am a beast.
Yeah, the sound does feel good. But
that still gives you that endorphin hit.
I'm not.
And Nintendo's like, I beat it. I beat the game. And then the guy's like, prove it. I don't have an achievement or anything to prove it, but you just got to trust me. You know what I mean? So
yeah, and like for some of the major, at least first-party Nintendo games, their sort of achievements exist in game.
Okay.
Right, like if Mario Galaxy is asking you to get every star,
that's true.
Like, when you get every star, you can visually show it and just take a picture, show it to anyone.
But
yeah,
Reg,
I get it. It's not a.
But Reg, you cannot not say that this would be something that Nintendo could take advantage of, because can you imagine getting something in Zelda and a big ass like Mario head pops up like a what they call it, amiibo, whatever they call it, and it just tells you like, you did something great. Like, that's something that's kind of Nintendo-ish, but they're not doing it, which is interesting.
I agree. Like, I'm not. While I agree with Pharaoh, like trophies are just sort of bragging rights. I do understand. Like, it's cool to have them, and it doesn't seem to hurt to have them, right? Like, it doesn't seem to harm it's not harming anything. It's cool to have. So I don't know why they don't have, particularly because like. In the same way, and I don't know if Xbox does, but I think PlayStation 5 does it now. How long I've been playing this game? The Switch does it.
Yeah.
But the 4 never did. And I was always curious, like, how much time do I actually spend playing this game? They would tell us at the year end when they did the wrap up, which means they had an ability to do so.
To record it, yeah.
Yeah, I was always curious. And like, I don't
There's
know
a third
why
party
they
way to do
choose.
it.
Oh yeah, I don't know why they do it. I don't know why they choose not to. It's the same way I don't know why Nintendo doesn't choose not to include trophies and things of that nature. But the only thing I'd push back on is people know what they're missing out on because the other systems are there.
I was gonna say they have an example.
Yeah, like the easiest one is like the internet for PlayStation. I mean, for the Switch, we all know it's bad because we know what good internet looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And like, believe me, we all want better internet for the Switch. That Nintendo just doesn't seem to be interested in doing it for some reason. And I don't know if that's I don't know if it's a mobile thing or I really don't know why. But people know what they're missing. They still just largely don't seem to be that interested in it. And I don't know if it's just a perception of Nintendo, or resignation that like you just might not ever get it. I mean, there's a part Dante and I talked about a while ago. When it was a few months ago, Zelda's 35th or 30th anniversary. And, he wanted something bigger because like it's Zelda, and all Nintendo did was just make another
the Skyward Sword
green
remake?
Game & Watch.
Oh.
Yeah, it is Skyward Sword remake and a green Game & Watch, and like we could all want them to do something better for arguably one of the greatest video game franchises of all time.
Yep.
But there's a truth you have to accept about what they are going to do. And like you can be upset with it, but you certainly have to understand like it's just not, they just aren't interested in doing that way. In the same way we ask for, everybody's got what should Square Enix do? Remake Legend of Dragoon. But it doesn't seem to be they have any interest in doing it.
Yep.
And at some point you have to accept that and just say, okay, well, move on from there.
Right. It's not gonna stop you from playing their next game, basically, and that's kind of where it is with the Switch and Nintendo. It's not gonna stop Nintendo fans from playing their next game. It is what it is.
Okay, can I add something when it comes to? Are you done or?
No, you can go ahead, Omar.
Okay, my thing about trophies, how Pharaoh said, overrated, and it's also used only used for console war or stuff like that, or bragging right. I actually disagree. One thing that trophies and achievement does, it gives you more information about a game and what you would be missing out. For example, a game like Crystal, in order to get everything, the trophy, to get the platinum, you need to have seen every single story element. And in order to do that, you need to know that you missed out on a story element, which I did. I didn't get every single quest, everything. I didn't finish every single quest, so my trophy didn't pop up, and I didn't get the perfect ending. That's one thing. Another thing is trophies allows you, or rather forces you to play a game in certain way, to one, push yourself, and second, to understand the game in and out to achieve such trophy. For example, kill all enemies without dying, use one enemy
Right though.
Omar's right there.
I know me as a person who was like gaming like since the early '90s. There was other ways of doing that, and like we had like strategy guides and other ways of making sure that we got everything in the game.
Yeah, but that's so old school now. That's not the thing
don't
anymore.
have
I'm just saying.
you sound like a
I'm
dinosaur.
not knocking, but I'm just saying like there wasn't always achievements like.
Pharaoh, how about this? Pharaoh, how about this? Because I'm not a big achievement hunter either. But when I was playing Demon Souls and when I was trying to find like different builds, there was a trophy that pops up if you dodge the ballista. Like, right, you dodge it and get that shortcut, you get that achievement rather than going around. I could easily just went around, but for some reason I was like, no, what? That's a challenge, so I'm gonna do it. Now I'll format the question in this: if you know you're playing Madden, and there's an achievement, be like, all right, 21-0 somebody by the first quarter or something like that, right? If you had the opportunity, like you know it's in there because you see it, because sometimes it'll pop up of stuff that you miss, and you have an opportunity to do that. You're trying to tell me you wouldn't try to do that and brag about it and be like, all right, I got it. Even it might be different from you compared to Omar, But the fact is, it does give you that incentive of like, damn, I could do that, and that would be kind of embarrassing for the other person. And where you could just turn to you.
I
never
check the achievements.
Right,
I never check them. When they pop up, I'll be like, oh, what's that? And I'll see what the achievement is for, and I'll be like, oh, okay. Every
time Pharaoh gets an achievement, he gets mad. I was like, man, get this off my screen.
So when you played Final Fantasy VII Remake, did you get the platinum?
Ooh.
I did get the platinum.
Why?
So what did you go out of your way to get? Because there's something you did.
The dresses.
It's the dresses, yeah.
But I won't say I went out of my way to do it though, because I played the game all the way through like 3-4 times. So.
But
you knew about it though. Who else knew about? I didn't know about the dresses. I just played the game.
Well, I know Pharaoh knew, but people who had played the original would know because there are 3 dresses different in the original, where you do different things to get a different result each time for that sort of thing. The originals didn't have trophies, which, like, you know, Pharaoh, you know, like the Don Cornello part, did, you know, he can pick Cloud or he can not pick Cloud, and so like that in and of itself is a different path. And I think 7 Remake highlights the good things and problems with trophies, because the great things was fighting through the virtual simulators, getting all of those. That is fun. That's challenging. Doing the dress thing 3 times and going through that entire sort of wall market sequence is exhausting.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's not just wall market. You have to start from the beginning of the chapter.
Yes.
Which means you got to go all the way through like this whole level, underground passage thing, and it's like it's a lot longer than it needs to be.
Yeah.
So it makes like, if you're achievement hunting, it makes it a drag.
Yeah, it's not like Uncharted has fun ones where it's like shoot
I
this many
can
people
name-
with guns.
I can name one trophy that made people angry, and it is that against that trainer where you need to do rhythm mini game.
Oh, I got that trophy.
I got it as well. That was a motherfucker and a half. But when you get it, you're like, fuck yeah. I get it, because at the end of the day,
rights, though. Like,
yes, that's
exactly. I'm glad you admitted it.
No, I told you I'm not a whore about that. But I do it for bragging rights only. Or sometimes if I see it and just
for me, it's partially bragging rights. Sometimes I like to go look at the trophies because you can look at all the games you finished.
Yeah, I need
when
to
I go back, I'm like, oh shoot, yeah, I was playing this back in like 2010.
That's true.
Look at
Sometimes you just like a game, though. Sometimes you just like the game,
but you gotta make sure you fight Whis.
That's true. That's true.
I do.
I mean, like what Jubei said, you like a game enough, you want to probably just
like if I really like a game, we'll see I'll 100% the fuck out of it because I like the game, not because I'm like I like the games. I want to do everything that I
just
can.
Like
in the
you
game.
did,
like,
Pharaoh. With you should have no platinums if you didn't. You know what I mean? That kind of defeats the purpose.
Right.
I was curious. I'd want to ask Jubei, like, do you, and because they don't typically always have platinum, but do you 100% like fighting games, like Fighters or Guilty Gear, Tekken, Street Fighter?
It's a little bit harder. I think the game I came closest to 100% was actually Marvel vs. Capcom 3, vanilla, not Ultimate. And then Ultimate came out, so I'm like, I'm not going to start over and get all these achievements again. It kind of just killed the thrill of me wanting to do that. So I mean, it really just depends on the game. When you have fighters that constantly come out with like new games and just add a fuck ton of trophies or achievements just for the fuck of it, it kind of kills your drive. Don't want to do that, even if you like the game. It becomes tedious at some point. Like even with Madden, like I 100% at the Xbox. Damn near 100% of the Xbox One version of like Madden 21, and then the Series X version came and all the achievements are gone. And I'm like, this is fucking stupid. It's the same game. Like, I shouldn't have to worry about achievements in this just because it's a next generation version of this thing.
Yeah, pretty.
But like, I literally everything I just
don't do that
did.
achievement and shit because that means you gotta play Face of the franchise, and that's trash.
And it's trash.
That's the story mode. Y'all don't like the story? I like the story mode in games.
Hey, y'all really need a discounted version of that.
It's ones.
And just a pure online fighting version.
Yeah.
My idea did actually work though. I did get the DLC for the MVP version and didn't pay for it. Like legit.
All right, fair enough. I don't know. I like the story modes, man. I wish they brought that back to FIFA.
No.
Man.
They had a good story mode a couple of years ago. I forget what the fuck it was called. Like, do you remember what it was called, Pharaoh?
Wasn't it?
Like the first fleshed out story mode was actually pretty damn good.
I feel like the career mode for sports games. I feel like EA had it right when they had the college version of the game and the NFL version of the game.
Yeah.
It was just more about you creating a player and then progressing him to like from amateur status
Exactly.
to the league. But you didn't have to build some story like to have you invested in the character. It was just your gameplay had you invested in the character.
Well, yeah, and that's what MLB The Show is for me. I started off in what's it, AAA or AA or whatever, and then go work my way up.
Yeah, I think that's much more impactful than like trying to like make some story to get you invested in this random character.
Yeah, I think 19 had the best story mode so far, where you played as the one dude, and then you had your buddy that you're also trying to get into the league there, just watching.
Yeah, I saw that.
How your fuck ups and choices kind of played out.
It looked good. I mean,
it did good, and then they completely just turned a 180. Stop doing it.
They did that with FIFA as well. They did this Volta League thing, and it's fucking trash, man. I don't know. It gives you that like Friday Night Lights type of thing, or All American type of like a little bit of backstory. I think it's cool, and that's why I enjoy the 2K story modes as well, because it's.
I like some of the 2K story modes, but not all of them.
I would say, as far as I understood, the 2K seems to be the gold standard. Like I hear the new ones.
They pretty much started it.
Yeah, like the new one is pretty good, and maybe FIFA, because I know a couple years ago, the FIFA story mode was pretty solid.
It was pretty good.
And now that new F1 game's coming out, they've got their
and they have a story mode, and of course that's why I'm interested. I already have it downloaded, so.
That F1 story mode I heard is pretty good.
Yeah, so and I watched the Netflix thing, so I understand a little bit of what's going on about the F1. And it's one thing about playing these games that like sports games that you don't normally play, is that when you play it and then you understand some of the rules and stuff you did, you get more of a better appreciation for the game. Like I don't like baseball, but I've been playing MLB and as a pitcher, so I understand the different counts and the different stats now, and I'm like, you get more appreciation of what these guys do. So I don't know. I think it's cool. But let's
feel that pressure.
Yeah, man. I started off so bad, dude. I gave up like four. I gave up a grand slam, which is a four run ins, whatever. 3 people on base. The last guy, right, hits a home run. Almost broke my controller, man. I was so pissed. But,
did you get cut?
No.
Did you get cut?
No, I was already.
I would have cut your ass.
It was start of the season, man. I was rusty, but it's good. It's good. I bounced back. Man, I was pissed off. But it's all good. Let's move on to the last topic, and salute to my guy Jubei for coming in here. I'm gonna go to Kofi, man. This question that you wanted to ask us, man. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm gonna share my screen. Sorry, I am not well practiced with using Discord.
It should be right on the.
I am going live on it now.
Here you go. Let me click this for you.
And you should see it.
Yeah, there it is.
What do you see right now? Just let
VGP
me know,
panel question. VGP
I see the slideshow.
Yeah,
it says VGP panel question.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure I was targeting the right app. So, Okay, yeah, this is a question basically that obviously we're all gaming on different platforms. This is only centered on PlayStation first party.
Okay.
So there are rules, but I'm gonna go ahead and state the original question. If you were the head of PlayStation Worldwide Studios for a single day and asked to trade one PlayStation first party studio for any other specific developer, defunct, third party, or in the control of another platform, what trade would you make?
Interesting.
Okay, now there's rules to this. You cannot trade certain specific developers that are in PlayStation first party, because we all know that there's specific values with each individual developer in Sony first party. Okay,
Right.
So you guys see the display of the logos?
Yeah, I see them.
You guys see that right now? Okay, great.
I mean,
So there are 2 tiers. The basic way for me to separate, I think, the big dogs and the smaller studios is establishing a group that has every developer in the top has the history of 2 IPs ever that they've created. So we know most of these, but I will throw out really quick. Polyphony Digital had a motorcycle racing game on the PS2 called Taurus Trophy. So technically they have 2. Ben's a little more controversial because I've said before, I don't know if Siphon Filter was technically AAA, but it was on PS2. But I threw them up there because they're making another AAA game, right? They tweeted out that there's going to be another one. So that and Days Gone would qualify them. Tier 2 is smaller studios with at least 2 overall IPs. So I'm basically ruling out things like Nixes and ForwardWorks because, you just can't count them. Okay, so but there's one more thing. So if you're trading, you cannot, if you're trading for a big developer and they probably have 2 IPs in their history, you cannot trade a tier 2 team. All right, you can't trade London studios for Respawn when they just did Fallen Order and they do Apex. That's an example of what you cannot do. So you're gonna have to give up something of value to get something.
I got you.
But that being said, I don't know if FC if you want to go first or whoever wants to go first.
This is an interesting one. I'm gonna go with my guy. Omar because he's the I want the PlayStation guys to go first. Omar, you go first.
Okay, yeah, I thought about this when I was watching the stream on Salty, a good show, and I enjoyed the game. Let me think. If you Santa Monica, not Santa Monica, the studio for Gran Turismo.
I was thinking trading Polyphony as well. We'll go ahead.
Yeah, because that I don't care about that. Can I get Square Enix for it?
So I would say you could do Square Enix. To me, Square Enix I look as the body of a publisher.
Yeah.
I think you need to look at a specific team, like the team making 16.
Okay, so then I gotcha. So then I would go with what's called level 5.
So you wouldn't have to trade level 5 for Polyphony. I mean, you could trade, I don't know, something in tier 2 because they've never done.
Level 5's never made a.
I wouldn't say they've made like 2 AAA IPs. I mean, they've done a lot of IPs.
Can I put Ben Studios and no, not Square Enix. What a company is that? Okay, so level 5 is the one that created Eternal Sonata, right?
They created Ni no Kuni and they created they did make Dragon they did make Dragon Quest as well. They did do Dragon Quest as well.
So
Inuzama 11,
Rogue Galaxy.
I would genuinely, okay, so yeah, I would genuinely choose
White Knight
level
Chronicles.
5
That's my game.
and have them make Legend of Dragoon. Like they're Japanese.
And but you would trade Polyphony Digital for them.
I would trade any, I don't care about Gran Turismo, so I would even trade that. I would keep it because you like.
You would
Gran
trade
Turismo,
Sony's number 1 IP.
I would say that's my baby,
I don't play. I would even trade what's called Santa Monica.
He does not care.
What? No.
Wow.
Wrong choice. Wrong word choice. Fuck me. San Diego studio. The one for MLB the show. Yes. I don't care about baseball. So I'm gonna trade that for level 5.
Fair. Yeah, I think San Diego for level 5 is.
I think level 5 is tier 1, but that's just me.
Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm underestimating.
Okay. That's fair. Then I would trade Band.
That's fair.
I would say by Band. As much I love Days Gone, and I'm looking forward to their next game. I'm not gonna trade Sucker Punch. That's crazy talk. I'm not gonna trade Insomniac. Naughty Dog. Absolutely not. Guerrilla Games, absolutely not. Yeah, no.
That's a good trade because you add a RPG studio, which Sony doesn't have, especially Japanese RPG. So
yeah, this is why I wanted Square Enix to begin with, because I would have gotten their IPs and I would have had them create Legend of Dragoon remake, like a full-blown remake.
And I'm gonna put some of the games for level 5 for those who want to see it in the chat, just to get an example of what they make. All right, let's go to my next guy. I'm gonna save you for last, man. Reggie, what would you trade if you were head of some Worldwide Studios?
Well, you know what? If I think about it, I would drop. Hold on, Gorilla does Killzone. Santa Monica did.
God of War.
Also, where's
God of War?
God of War. That's what they are. I would drop Insomniac.
Ooh.
Wow.
Wow.
For who?
And give me Game Freak.
Wow. Interesting.
I'm dropping Insomniac and give me Game Freak.
Interesting.
Oh
Who is
my
Game Freak again?
days.
I
You know who
forgot.
Game Freak is, man.
Pokemon.
Game Freak makes Pokemon.
Dude.
Oh no,
That's
no.
That's
That's
interesting.
smart. That's
so-
smart.
My choice behind it is because
Wow.
Naughty Dog's moved away from it, but Insomniac is the close we've got to
I see.
from a
I
tier
see.
1 studio.
I see what you mean. Yeah,
Yeah,
They
who are still
make
kind of these
kitty-like
like
games.
mascotty,
Yeah.
type of games. Like drop them, give them
But
the
if
Pokemon
you
franchise.
drop Insomniac, you would lose Spider-Man as their IP.
Yeah, but you
Absolutely.
gain Pokemon.
And
That's
Ratchet
the
and Clank.
But I
that's the
gained
thing.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
I
Game Pokemon.
and I think that's comfortable because Santa Monica can still pick up something from another Marvel IP. Particularly like what
True.
I'm seeing now is like a lot of people are liking the Fight for Wakanda DLC in Avengers,
Yeah.
and a lot of people are looking like this could be a game all its own,
Mm-hmm.
and a Bend Studio, a Santa Monica, could do that. That they could handle an individual Marvel property without having to do the whole Avengers thing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
The question to me, from me to you, is: would you keep Pokemon how it is, or would you glorify it? And I mean, like, pump money into it to have voice acting, have it have better graphics, better gameplay, everything like that.
Nintendo
What I
owns
would-
the rights to Pokemon, right? So they wouldn't.
Well,
Would they have to make a new game?
I think they do.
I think
I
No,
Game
but
Freak-
that's,
actually
what
don't
the
know
trade would
how-
include.
yeah, I don't know how the rights with Pokemon specifically operate because
They'd have to
Game
make
Freak.
Digimon or like Monster Rancher.
No, but that's the
Nintendo
IPs
is
come
the
with it.
publisher
So if
for
they
Pokemon.
developed it,
Nintendo's
Yeah,
the
they're
publisher
the
for
publisher.
Pokemon.
give
Game
up.
Freak is the
Just the developer.
actual.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're developed, but again, they're essentially one and the same. So like, I understand what Pharaoh means.
Well, Game
but-
Freak's a first party studio for Nintendo though.
Nintendo, yeah. But my thought would be to
Interesting.
do something different
Yeah.
with the Pokemon. Like, and one thing I think Pokemon always needs to evolve in is the battling itself, like the RPG elements of it all.
Ooh.
Because like to 10 years, Pokemon was 96, I think, 95.
Can you imagine them adding
so-
more like that Sony like budget to the battle and like to I don't know more anime-ish depending on which
'Cause-
way they want to
yeah.
go with it.
Because we're still basically working with rock, paper, scissors in Pokemon. And like that's just an old 20-year-old mechanic. And like, yes, you can like deep dive into like knowing what stab moves are and EV training. But still, if I have a Charizard, he's gonna beat your Steelix every time.
Yep.
That's just gonna happen. So like, how do we sort of make the combat in Pokemon different?
Where the
I
tactics
personally
come to
would-
play rather than just
Yeah.
Do you have any
a pure
idea how to do
weaknesses.
so?
Me, I've kind of thought about it on and off for a while, and I haven't really been able to like nail it down. There's the idea of just bringing it to modern times, right, and just having it be more of an action RPG hybrid.
I was gonna say
Similar
that. Do
to
it like that. Yeah.
Yeah, to what Final Fantasy VII is. We had
That's
there
kinda
are
smart.
That'd be sick.
Inklings.
I'm not gonna lie. That'd be pretty sick.
Interesting. So everyone now want to leave JRPGs. They want now more hybrid of it.
And so because Star Ocean 2, I think, was a pretty solid like hybrid way back when. Where it's like, your characters weren't standing around. You could move them freely and like you were attacked when your ATB bar got up there, but you could sort of keep attacking as long as you wanted to. something like that. There's inklings of Pokemon being able to do it already with Pokken Tournament. So we sort of know what they look like when they fight physically. I think the biggest challenges for Pokemon, there are over
700?
I think. Yeah, 700 now.
Yeah.
So what we're going to lose, and sort of what Pokemon's doing already, we're going to probably lose the ability to have all 700 in any one individual game, because that's animating 700 individual characters, all who will probably have a very unique move set.
Interesting. But that's
Question,
an
would you
interesting
want
trade,
it
man.
to-
I'm not gonna lie.
Would you want it to be a combat a la Ni no Kuni?
I wouldn't mind Ni no Kuni. I think that could actually be all right, because Ni no Kuni's sort of halfway Pokemon anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just take out the trainer aspect of it all, and like,
No, have the trainer in it as well. You wanted a new dynamic, right? Why not have the training fight a little bit as well in it?
there in the Pokemon manga, they go into a deeper dive onto actual trainer skill. So I don't know if I'd want them to physically fight. However, like early in the manga, there's this idea of like, if I throw my ball out faster than you, I'm going to win, because we're not necessarily fighting on this quote unquote fair ground here. Like, you've attacked me with your monster. If my Charizard comes out, yours don't have a chance to like come out with a move. I'm already flamethrowing you by the time you decide to even what Pokemon you're going to use.
Mm-hmm.
So I think something like that, where individual trainer stats can sort of affect how the monsters operate and how they use.
What about something similar
there's
to like I just been watching recently, like the Shaman King, where they have like Pokemon-ish, but also the actual shaman also gets involved, where they're imbued by their spirit or
That's
their
more
Pokemon.
like a fusion, because
Yeah.
Salmon
True.
and Xenier more fusion, which I'm literally watching right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've been
and to be
watching
fair-
that. I actually like it.
Yeah, you can do it, because like Pokemon can do anything, really, right? Like, all you just need to do is make up some excuse as to why humans have fused. In this region, humans and Pokemon sort of have a symbiotic relationship, and we sort of fuse together, as opposed to like all the other regions where they don't do that. Same way why Raticates in the Aloha version have like porn stashes, because like they live on the islands, I guess. I don't know.
That's interesting.
But it's not a bad idea. Like it, and again, Pokemon has the leeway to get away with it, because we're in a different region,
All right.
so we just do things differently.
I want to recap real quick. Omar says that he would want to trade Polyphony Digital for level 5, which is a pretty damn good trade.
No, I said Santa Monica. Oh, yeah. You said level 5 is an A tier, so then I chose Ben Studio.
Yep. Oh, Ben Studio. Sorry, Ben Studio. Okay. And then Zero is trading Insomnia Games for Game Freak.
Game Freak.
The big Nintendo developer. Very, very interesting take so far. Feral Gaming, what would you trade out of the two tiers?
I would trade Sony Bend, because they kind of do everything that the other ones do, but they're like not good at it.
Hey.
Good.
And I would take Bungie. I would kind of attack that hole in their catalog of
smart.
multiplayer.
That's smart. That's not the same caliber studio. Ben's really in between tier 2 and tier 1, but I'll let it slide. Fair enough.
All right. Well, let me ask this, Pharaoh. Could I offer you, instead of Bend, let Bend do something else, drop Gorilla for Bungie?
That's a better comparison.
Yeah, that's a lot closer, but
no, I mean it's more of a like let's say we're trading here. Like,
that's a
I don't know
trade.
if I want to give you Bend. What if I give you Gorilla?
I'll take Gorilla too. I mean, we don't really need Horizon. We got God of War. We got other games.
Well, you don't care about Gorilla. That's the thing.
It's not that I don't care about them. It's about filling a hole in my catalog.
I mean, Gorilla's supposed to fill in the hole for first-person shooters. They just fail at it.
Yeah, I love Killzone too, man.
But I get what Pharaoh's saying this because like I understood why he chose Ben. Like I like Days Gone, but like it's the like they aren't doing anything that Naughty Dog, Santa Monica,
they
or
can't do.
Insomniac
Yeah.
or Sucker
They
Punch
can't
aren't
do.
doing better.
That's why.
Yeah,
That's why I said Ben is really more of a tier 2 in my opinion, or tier 2.5.
Y'all can take.
I agree.
you
I
can take
actually
Gorilla,
agree.
But you can take Gorilla if I get to fill a hole in my.
But this is his
portfolio.
reasoning, and it makes sense.
I get a looter.
Yeah.
I get a looter shooter that has seasons that I get to sell tons of DLC, and it adds value to my brand.
Of
And
course,
you get
of
to
course,
build
of
a
course,
narrative
Pharaoh goes.
story.
Of course, Pharaoh goes with the monetization part of it.
Right.
Hey, we gotta get that money. I'm with Jim Ryan. Jim Ryan like that money. We got to get that money.
Oh man. This
No,
man
I
said if
kind
you
of like
want-
that though because I think Bungie
Because you
all
love
they said
fucking. Because you love Destiny as well.
What? And like, Jube, I don't know if you've been in it back for a while, but like, story wise, Destiny got like interesting again.
I hear
And,
they
like,
improved on it.
Yeah, and what Sony loves more than anything else is a great story. And like a cinematic narrative, which is what Destiny is trying its best to do.
Yeah.
But like, if they can get that kind of solid Ben Studio, Sucker Punch, Naughty Dog sort of narrative team to like tighten it up and give you a monetized narrative story, which is basically episodic content, that's a win right there. That's a solid win right there.
Fair enough. All right, man. That's it's good. It's good so far, man. Makes sense. Jubei, how about you, sir? What's your take?
What up? Trades. To be honest, let's see. Who are we trading? Who? I would honestly trade. I mean, I don't really care for baseball. I don't really give a shit.
Okay.
Baseball is their top selling IP this year.
That's facts.
that might be the thing. But okay.
Shout out to Game Pass.
MLB shows.
If we're just doing just straight, we're just swapping developers, just acquiring one, right?
Yeah, it's just swap.
Well, you get the IPs they make.
So
Yeah.
I guess I should add that. You get whatever they make.
Yeah.
okay, but what if the developer I want to swap them for only has like one IP that exists? Can I still pick from the tier 2 list, or is that not possible?
I think that's fair. I think if they only have made one game, you could use a tier 1. I mean tier 2.
Oh, I already know.
Okay.
I have that in mind as well. But go ahead.
So I'm trading. I'm gonna trade Asobi Studios. I want Studio MDHR. Give me them.
MDHR.
I'm buying their whole family.
Oh, that's Cuphead.
Let's do it.
Cuphead, yeah.
Oh, dope choice.
Nice choice.
Studio H. MD.
But
They got
interesting.
skills. They got skills, had limited resources, and made fire. Let's give them the back.
Okay, so over Asobi, huh? But why Asobi in particular? Because you could have traded. You could have done Media Molecule, a London studio, which they do VR. And if you're not into VR, you could have switched
we
that.
don't believe in dreams no more, B.
I think Asobi's kind of. I mean, I guess that's fair, but it's just like Asobi's pretty popular. I mean, the little
What did they
rocket
do?
guy.
They did the guy.
This
What's his
dude right
name?
here. I don't know his name.
Astrobot?
Astrobot.
Boy?
Thank you. Yeah,
Mhm.
Astrobot.
Astrobot. Okay. And the Playroom. They did the Playroom.
Interesting. All right. So no tier 1 swaps. You're gonna keep tier 1 how it is. You remember, you are the Sony head. This is for it to be successful. How are you? What moves would you make for it to be the top echelon?
I was going to ask, can I circle back around and do a tier 2 swap? I have one for them too.
You would do a second one, or why not?
Yeah.
Do a swap for each tier.
While Jubei comes back,
I think to make the game better, you must choose 2 studios, one from tier 1 and one from tier 2.
That's what I mean. All right, so let me go back. Let me go back around while I let Jubei think of tier 1. So Omar, your tier 2 studio.
My tier 2 studio would be. Let someone else because I need to think about it.
Okay, Reg.
I got mine.
mine
Yeah.
now.
I am going to drop Pixel Opus, and give me Supergiant.
Oh, that's cheating, man.
Give me Super Giant, man.
Who's Super Pixel
That's
Opus and what is
cheating,
Pixel
dude.
Giant?
Pixel Opus makes the Ash in the magic brush. That's
And
sorry, that's the
Concrete
Japanese
Genie.
name.
Concrete
Genie. Yes,
Yeah, Concrete
sorry,
Genie.
it's called Ash in the magic brush.
I like
And
Concrete Genie, but that's not
Super
fair.
Giant?
Super
They
Giant's
did
not really
Hades
tier.
one.
They're not tier 2.
Well,
I mean,
How? No,
They're
no,
not
so
tier
I was
2.
going to give you a caveat, actually. I was going to say pre-Hades Super Giant.
okay.
Bastion and
Yeah, I
Transistor.
think that's
Okay.
yeah, it's
'Cause
hard.
once they made Hades, that's it.
Agreed. Yeah, I would do it because like if that for that to be fair, I would have to trade like Housemark.
Exactly.
think.
You'd have to
Yeah.
swap.
Yeah.
I'd have to
Exactly.
trade
That'd be a swap.
So
that
I
would be
would
a better fair
Yeah,
comparison.
House of Mark has got a lot of games.
so
A
I'd
lot.
say
And so does the
pre-Hades.
studio. So yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be a fair-
pre-Hades Super Giant drop Pixel Opus. Give me Bastion and Transistor.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Interesting. Pharaoh, man, you're tier 2.
Tier 2. Oh man, let's see. I don't believe in dreams, so let's get rid of the molecule. Not making me money. Let's see.
I could
wait.
I could make a super money focused one easily, and it'd probably be outdo everybody. But
And,
I think
and give me that
personally-
little studio that made Kenna. Give me them.
Oh, interesting.
Add them to the-
For Media Molecule.
Yeah.
That's actually interesting.
Which studio?
the Kenna
The
studio.
studio that makes Kenna.
Oh,
I forget their name.
okay, interesting.
They're called Kenna
I
Studio.
forget.
Ember Lab. No,
Is it?
no,
Oh,
Ember Lab.
no.
Ember Lab.
Oh yeah,
That's
Ember
their
Lab.
studio
Yeah.
name.
I feel like they're very. I feel like that game kind of gives me that Sony feel. Like even if it wasn't, procured by them.
Isn't this their first
I feel
game?
like Sony could.
I think no.
I think it's their
can't
first
remember.
game. Let me see, Ember Lab.
But I
Yeah,
feel
no,
like,
Ember Lab. This is the first game, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
All right,
Yeah,
Pharaoh.
I feel like
So you're just mad being disrespectful,
I feel like
Pharaoh.
they can be nurtured into that AAA. I think they can come up if they can make something that visual. Sony can work with them. They can do.
This
some
man
things.
said Ember
What
Labs
was it?
Media Molecule.
Hold your answer, Pharaoh, because like I'm gonna try. Depending on what Omar chooses, I'm gonna try to make you some money. I'm gonna get you paid.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I don't know if Ember Labs will make you
Yeah.
money, Pharaoh. I thought you were gonna go something different. I
No,
mean,
I got him.
it's
I
a
got
brand
him.
new. I mean, but it's a brand new IP
Media
though.
Molecule is a Media Molecule is a money pit right now.
Okay, fair.
You just gotta get rid of it.
Fair enough.
I just
Fair
want
enough.
to get rid of it.
All right, man. All right, so Omar, man, who's your tier 2?
Okay. I think I would choose San Diego Studio, like that Easy Club.
That makes you most money for a tier 2.
I don't give a fuck about baseball though.
Okay, who would you trade?
I would choose. Okay. Who is Coffee? Help me here.
You and Sean Layden would be comparing severance packages.
Coffee. Sega, the creator for what's called
Atlas.
Oh,
Vanillaware.
Sega.
Vanillaware.
Yes. There you go.
Aren't you
got
RPG
me.
focused, Omar? It's a lot of RPGs,
No.
man.
What's called? They made Odin Spear. They made what?
Classic.
Valkyrie Profile. They made also.
That was Triace.
So are they also the ones that made?
Oh, they did
what's
13
called
Seminoles, Aegis Rim.
13
Yeah.
Sentinel?
Yep.
Yeah,
that's them.
they did do 13 Sentinels. Yeah.
I want them. Like
Yeah.
their IP
Okay.
is
Yeah.
unique as fuck.
All right, fair enough. Fair
Facts.
enough.
Yeah, I like Vanillaware a lot, and I'm very excited for them. We know that they are getting more funding for whatever they're doing. So shout out to.
I mean,
Vanillaware.
after 13 Sentinels, they
I like
they
that.
better.
I gotta go back and beat that. But that's
Yeah.
what's up, man. That's what's up. Jubei, man. I know you left real quick. You gotta give me a tier 1, man.
Still here, Jube? Oh, you're muted.
I think he's muted. If he's not,
Probably on that.
I guess
probably
I'll
on
go.
that, customer service.
Yeah, I'll go. For me, no, Jubei's
tier 1.
Yeah.
Tier 1. Sorry. And I'm working full. I gotta I got a call. Anyways, tier 1, I am gonna go ahead and I'm probably gonna swap. I will swap. Shoot, that's a hard question.
Yo, you can just keep it if you think the tier 1 is solid enough by itself. Doesn't need any improvements.
I mean, there's a
Because
big name studio.
devs or
nobody's
publishers
named
also, like, I can't really trade for a
Yeah, that's also
publisher, so that
something
makes
else.
that a little bit more
No.
difficult.
You not played
Just developers.
Sony Band? Is Sony Band not the weakest link?
It is, but you have to trade it for a similar thing. If you're gonna trade, that's why I said doesn't really technically belong tier 1 because you can't be like Rockstar for Ben Studio. That's not fair.
No, that's not fair.
Yeah.
Thought
But
about Rockstar too, but I was like,
for Rockstar, you need to trade Naughty Dog with.
Yeah, you'd have to trade Naughty or Santa Monica for it to make sense.
Santa Monica.
Yeah. All right.
I would trade Santa Monica for Rockstar.
I'll go while he's thinking. So for my tier 2, I will trade, and I'm with Pharaoh on this, man. Me and Molecule, sorry, man, get your shit out of here. And I would add.
Going out here with all these ideas and shit.
I would I would add Moon Studios by far. Gotta add.
Okay.
Yeah, I would Media Molecule swap Moon Studios in, and for tier 1, I mean tier 2, you already know what it is. Like it's self-explanatory. The best indie game ever. Tier 1, I would do. This one's a little bit harder because I was thinking like, what do they lack? Sony lacks first-person shooters. They like Western RPGs. They like Japanese RPGs. I could swap Polyphony Digital for Turn 10. I was like, nah, too easy. But for me, I would do, and I guess it's kind of similar. It'd be Ben Studio for. Playground Games.
Okay.
Interesting.
That'd be
That way you do get an RPG out of it.
Exactly.
Ben Studio is the weakest link so far.
Yeah.
Not only that, Ben Studio
No,
needs
Media
to do.
Molecule's the weakest link.
I think London Studios
I'm
weakest
about
link.
tier 1 level.
Nah, but London Studios' last Blood and Stone or Blood and Truth it was pretty good
Blood and
compared
Truth,
to.
yeah. That's true. I guess
Dreams.
I hold Dreams in higher
It's
regards.
it's Media Molecule, bro. I'm sorry to say it is Media Molecule. It's the weakest link.
It's not about regard. Like if the game doesn't.
For me, it is.
Their
See,
last
you're
game.
disconnected. That's the thing. You're just disconnected. You look at it from the money. I'm not. I just don't care.
You want that Sean Layton severance package, all right? I'm Jim Ryan.
That's fair. That is fair.
Oh man.
I was say so Pharaoh because nobody said it. Like I can make you some money, and there's 2. But you probably have to give somebody a bit bigger than Media Molecule for one. One, what PlayStation doesn't have, dedicated fighting game. Arc System Works is right here. With Blaze Blue, Guilty Gear, Dragon Ball Z.
That's Media Molecule. You would trade it for that?
Yeah, you could take level 5, but you'd probably have to give something a little bit higher for level 5 because level 5 has the Yokai Watch series, which is huge in Japan.
I took the level 5.
Yeah, he already took level 5, so I left that one.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah.
Who'd you trade level 5 for?
I traded level 5 for Ben Studio.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's not the same, but all right, fair enough.
You literally said that Ben Studio, that level 5
1.5. I mean, yeah, I said Ben Studios technically like in the middle between tier 1 and tier 2 in my opinion.
I think Ben for level 5 is fine, to be honest.
I think they're.
I don't think they're the same.
Equal because I think where Ben made this sort of fairly good game, level 5 has just consistently made what I think of fairly even games. Like,
okay, fair enough.
Professor Layton is fire, but like it's not.
I personally love Ni no Kuni, and I don't think it's the same.
Ni no Kuni is
fantastic. I don't disagree with you. Yeah.
And they made Jeanne d'Arc on PSP, one of the best tactical games I've ever played, ever. So I do see what you're saying.
That's why I don't. I mean, they're like, I wouldn't say they're massively apart, but I would say they're a little bit above Ben. But fair enough.
Kofi did not go.
It's Kofi's turn. But I want to just caveat: if mine is, I guess someone could say, well, Playgrounds is way bigger than Ben, but they've only made one And that's why the Fable game is what I was referring to for the RPG and the hub of Polyphony, because they can't make a racer forever, to save their damn lives. But if I wanted to be a little bit more controversial, more akin to this, I would trade Guerrilla for Bethesda. But that's it.
Wow.
But Bethesda, you can't.
That's very similar because both.
I'm talking about Bethesda.
No, ZeniMax is a publisher.
Yeah, Bethesda. ZeniMax is a publisher. I'm talking about Bethesda. It covers.
But that's huge because
covers
Bethesda
RPGs,
has the
Western
for
RPGs.
their new engine, right?
Exactly.
And so does Guerrilla.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
So that's
and you
what
get your FPS is still in there too.
I mean,
I tried to stay away from
Guerrilla,
Xbox Studios,
which is also a Western RPG.
Exactly. I replaced one I don't like for one that's better, in my opinion.
Fair point.
Wait, why are you staying away from Xbox Studios?
I just, because I was trying to, stay out of the.
Is this based on your user experience, not money?
That sounds like a Sean Layden move right there.
Because my tier 1, I would have traded Guerrilla or Bend for Rare, because Rare has Sea of Thieves and they got a whole catalog. They got the Banjo. They got a bunch of shit.
That's also not comparable, but okay, fair enough.
It's not comparable. But
that'd be Insomniac, kind of like how Reggie did it. But all right, let me go. So Kofi, your take.
So I guess I'll do one that's kind of obvious for me, and then I'll do a surprise one. So I'll start with tier 2. I'm all based on user experience right now. I'm not talking about what makes the most money. If I wanted the most money, I would go look for what generic app that makes $1 billion, a game in China that a game that's worldwide, literally in every country, and that just replace Santa Monica,
Fortnite,
replace Naughty Dog and Santa Monica, whatever. It's boring. What would be interesting to me is bringing back.
Actually, replace one of your biggest.
If we're just talking about what just makes $1 billion, literally just rakes in $1 billion off of microtransactions, I would just trade for I'd literally go to a list. What makes the most? Trade it. It's boring to me.
But he's talking about user experience, like how yours is more RPG focused. Mine just made sense.
But it's interesting that you would skip something like Santa Monica and not the weaker link like Bent Studio.
Oh, he didn't say.
I just don't even have the mental energy to think about how much money it makes. It's not exciting to me.
Okay.
Because it's nothing to do with me playing a video game. I guess
that's Pharaoh's take. You're low.
That's Pharaoh. He likes.
You don't need a damn CEO.
I
know.
Did
say CEO. You did say that.
I did. That's true. I guess I could say
so Kofi, man, if you want to go broke, because it seems like that's what you want to do. What studio would you replace?
Well, so mine's a little bit more imaginary. I will say that, but tier 2 is a little more realistic. I am giving up San Diego Studios. They already make games for 2 big platforms, right? So I'd still be able to play them. I would still be able to play San Diego Studios rather. San Diego. If I said Santa Monica, I'm sorry. And I would take Namco Bandai's Tales Studio specifically. I would want them under PlayStation First Party, so I can have the the Tales Arise looks amazing. I want to take it to the max. I would want just like how PlayStation made Dragoon. I want PlayStation to be another source of AAA JRPGs, right? Pharaoh has brought this up quite well, right? Square Enix does it, Namco Bandai does it. Level 5 was kind of close to that space. There's not a lot of AAA JRPG devs. I'd love for Sony or rather PlayStation to return to that.
We need 1 or 2 more for sure. It can't just be Square Enix.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
that's
right.
A good point.
And Namco Bandai, I'll give a shout to them. But Pharaoh's totally right about that. The more curveball one is nobody mentioned a defunct studio, which I find really interesting. I would, for my tier 1, I would trade
for a reason,
Bend.
Kofi.
I know, but I'm trading on the merits of that studio when they were at their best.
Okay,
I guess that's kind of what I'm thinking. And this is more like you said. Yeah, so I'm trading out Bend. So Bend goes, and I would bring back Zipper Interactive.
Oh, Zipper, that makes sense. First-person shooters in SOCOM.
Exactly. I want SOCOM. Yeah. They did SOCOM. Yeah. I want SOCOM completely at the forefront, all the bells and whistles, all of the DLC, season passes.
That's a good trade. That's a good trade.
VR, whatever. But yeah, then you'd have your multiplayer, at least third-person shooter. Maybe they do you're right, MAG. You could bring back MAG or something like that. And yeah, then you've got your shooters back. So yeah, Zipper Interactive for Bend.
That's an interesting take, man. Interesting
It's
take.
interesting how everyone is seeing that Bend is their weakest link so far.
Yeah, I can't trade Gorilla, and I can't trade Sucker Punch, and I can't trade. Well, I would say Gorilla, Naughty, Polyphony, and Sucker Punch are really high regard for me. I love Santa Monica, I love Insomniac, but like,
could if you want, you could do Rockstar. Was it
Naughty Dog?
Rockstar West or something? What's their main studio?
Oh right, I forget.
I want to be fair. I don't know if Bend is necessarily their weakest studio. They just don't. I don't think they get the opportunity to do what they want to do.
They're too similar to what I mean. They have worked on Naughty Dog titles,
right?
And they had their own Insomniac titles. They're like the little brother in this situation. Like Reggie said, they don't excel at anything. They're the easiest one to replace. That's why I didn't want to go with them.
They need to find their own footing.
Yeah, Rockstar North. Thank you.
Well, it's hard because it's competitive for that funding to make that AAA blockbuster that they want to make.
Facts, which is hopefully this.
Let's do last but not least. Dante, I don't know if you're there. I don't know if you're sleeping, man. Real quick, man. Tier 1 studios, who would you replace in Tier 2 studios? And try to make it as equal as possible. And
I can put on the question, Dante, if you want to read it. This is
no. It's fine. I've been listening. I honestly don't know.
If you were to run PlayStation, what would you do?
Yeah. I don't know, honestly.
And Cole, we're gonna do this for Xbox too. I want to do this. It's pretty fun.
I'm trying to. I'll admit I'm half asleep right now because again,
he's tired. You can't
it's 3 goddamn. It's nearly 3 a.m. and I need some sleep. So
get some sleep, brother. It's all good.
I'm trying.
It's all good, man.
He'll take sleep for Naughty Dog at this point.
I'll take sleep all the time about Naughty Dog. Yeah.
All right, man. All right. Well, let's close this out then. Definitely a fun topic. And I think the chat. Who do you think made the better acquisitions, and why? And why is it me? As always, you are welcome.
We can do Xbox next week.
I would like to do that. I would like to do that.
Honestly, I will turn
on Nintendo too. Yeah, that'd be fun.
At the moment, I would just out of necessity, because it just seems like PlayStation is just forgetting about it as much as I don't want them to. Honestly, I would say London studio would go. Because the PlayStation,
their last VR game was good though.
Yeah, but. When was their last VR game? And how much has PlayStation really given a shit about VR as of recently?
Yeah,
sell out your own countrymen.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Oh, hold on. I got one.
Oh, go ahead, Jube.
I'm trading Gorilla for Game Freak. Straight up.
Oh, you're trading Gorilla for Game Freak.
I want Pokemon. I think with the right handling, they won't be fucking lazy.
That's so interesting.
What do you want Pokemon to be? Would you want Pokemon to be AAA?
That's basically
what I mean by that.
Yeah,
is different graphics, more realistic.
AAA is more than just graphics, bro. It honestly has nothing to do with graphics. It's all about budget.
My damn Pokemon. I want full voice commands.
It's all about budget. It has nothing to do with graphics. I can make $100 million 8-bit game. It's still AAA because it's $100 million.
I want to say dumb shit like Charizard, Dodge.
So I would actually trade out one niche company, which is London Studios, for another niche company, and that's Paradox Games.
Ooh.
Or Paradox Interactive.
Paradox
Interactive. Now, what do they do?
They do Prison Architect, City Skylines, the Crusader Kings games.
They do the major RTS games. City Skylines. Crusader Kings.
Empire of Sin. John Romero's wife's game.
Empire of Sin. Okay.
Empire of Sin.
They did that.
They do Stellaris. They do a lot, man. I love that studio personally.
I think they also did Empire of Sin, if I'm correct.
They did. They are.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So, but yeah, they got a really good pedigree behind them as far as RTS games. They're one of the few fucking companies out there that still do it. I'd say.
Grand strategy.
Aside from great fucking strategy games that they've bought out. good times things. I feel like they would definitely bring something that is also very lacking to a console market as well, and that is well thought out, like quality strategy games that could really distract some like your average player if you were to introduce them to this kind of game, especially something like Crusader Kings, for absolutely hours.
Yeah.
And there's a good buffer between like big giant fucking blockbuster releases and shit.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough.
That's me. That would be my. I would say that would be my. That would definitely be one of my tier 2s, obviously. As far as tier 1, just looking at that. You know, like, and this is, and I'm not saying, and this is not necessarily out of complete hatred for them, despite what some people will say.
This is Naughty Dog. He's gonna pick Naughty Dog.
No, it is. And the reason why, here's the reason why I can't pick Ben Studio, and the reason why I feel picking Ben Studio would be a rash decision. They've only since really coming back, they've only made one game. Like, we don't know what Ben Studio is capable of now that they've got Days Gone out of the way.
Yeah,
and
good point.
have chance to make even more games. Like, if their next game turns out to be amazing and you've already snuffed out Ben Studio, like, then you've missed it. We know what Naughty Dog is capable of, and at this point, like, how many times can Naughty Dog make the same game? Like the same kind of like third person shooter game. Do you know what I mean? With slight stealth elements, because at least a lot of these other game studios have, in essence, made a different kind of game within a genre. Where Naughty Dog has effectively kind of made the same game, I would say twice, and that would be Uncharted and The Last of Us, because they play very much the same. So I would say I would replace them. Triple A.
You think go top tier or Naughty Dog?
Who made Bully? Because I know it's not Rockstar proper.
No, that was Rockstar London.
London did that? Rockstar okay. London.
Oh, I think it was Rockstar.
Oh, no, it's Vancouver.
What? No, hold on. I'm very curious. No, that doesn't feel right. I don't. Yeah, no, okay, no, you are absolutely correct. It was Rockstar Vancouver.
Yeah.
Because they did Counter-Strike, right?
No, Counter-Strike, the original Counter-Strike was not done by them.
Oh, no, that's Valve. Never mind.
No, that's okay, so here's the fucked up thing. Originally, the original developers of that, was actually somebody else. This one surprised me the most that I found out recently. When I found out who actually was the ones behind it. Oh god damn it! I need to look into it. But it was a bunch of Turtle Rock. That's it. No, it was Turtle Rock.
Oh, headphone guys.
My head just like. I was gonna say everyone said Rockstar. No, I would pick. It's actually Rockstar San Diego for me, and that's because of Red Dead.
But yeah, I mean, as far as a third party, okay, this one's gonna be very. Okay, you gotta kind of hear me out when I'm explaining why I picked them. I would say Valve. I'd replace them with Valve, because Valve. Outside of the fact that they make PC games, when they make a game, they always seem to want to push what they are working with to its absolute limit and get the most out of it. Like with the physics in Half-Life, Half-Life 2, with the the narrative of Half-Life, and even with VR, with Half-Life Alyx being one of the best VR games of all goddamn time. They also did probably one of the most successful four-person co-op games we've ever seen in Left 4 Dead. Like Valve, when Valve wakes up from being the fucking sleeping giant that it is and makes a game, they make a fucking game. They make a game that seems to just go down in fucking history.
Good point.
And that's good for Pharaoh. That's
Would you
money too.
Would you want to revive Half-Life 3 then?
No, we already have Half-Life 3. It's Half-Life Alyx.
So you want new IP from Valve?
You wouldn't want like a more traditionally playing Half-Life 3. You'd rather have Alyx the VR.
Here's the thing. Like I said, I feel like with if they had Valve, you pretty much be making up for the loss of London Studio as well, because Valve knows how to
That's
make
a good point.
VR
They could cover both. Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah.
That's a big swap though.
Yeah, it is. But like I said, if we're talking about impact, of their games, Valve has, in my opinion, and this is going to be very controversial, especially to Omar, Valve has had a bigger cultural impact on video games than Naughty Dog. As far as the games that they bought out, the legacy that they've left, and the amount that they've evolved games, because we wouldn't,
I think
honestly,
it might be closer than you think. I don't know, man. Crash Bandicoot, and The Last of Us,
no,
Uncharted.
that's perfectly fine. But a lot of things that Valve set in Half-Life, the original Half-Life, is still used to this day.
Yeah,
a lot of the physics that they pioneered in, because they are pioneers. A lot of the physics they pioneered in Half-Life 2 still used to this day. And I turned around and said, if there was going to be a kick in the nuts that a VR needed, it was going to be Half-Life Alyx. Unfortunately, it seems like Valve wasted their goddamn time, because nobody was like, you know what, Valve has shown us how to make a fucking VR game, so let's get off our asses and make a fucking VR game like that, because we can see from everything, from the metrics, from some sales, from everything. I mean, again, Half-Life Alyx was a fucking VR seller. Like, people bought VR just to play that fucking game.
True.
So yeah, like that would be mine. As far as the other, again, I have to take a second. Studio.
But you had the RTS.
You said you had the RTS.
No, that was the first tier. I thought it was two that we had to do for two IPs.
No. Just you did. You did tier 2 and tier 1, so you finished it.
Okay, okay, fair enough.
But we had to get out. I know you could go to sleep, man. We run out of time. Can't really do a closing outro here, but definitely follow everyone in the description. I'm FC Von. This is Vitamin G Gaming Podcast, and you already know what it is. Keep it gaming. We out of here. Peace.
Later.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone. All alone.